Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Absolute Sim Radio. This tonight is something that is going to have a little bit of fun with the precursor to the hottest ticket in GT3 racing coming. The Race Anywhere World Series and Race Anywhere America Series. The admins decided it was time to let the hair down and let's have some fun. And what better fun than Daytona with Legacy V8 Supercars. Yes, indeed, that is true. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Craig King, and with me tonight is Daniel Handover to provide you with these two 25-minute races that are going to be pure chaos. Daniel, good evening. Do you have any experience with these V8 Supercars? Because I have, 5 minutes experience.
Good evening, Craig. Good evening, everyone. Thank you all for tuning in. I see we've got quite a lot of people watching already, so thank you very much for being a part of this. To be honest, yes, I have. I've got a little bit of experience, or a fair bit of experience with these cars. These are actually one of my favourite cars to drive within the platform, and I drive them whenever I absolutely can and wherever possible. The main thing to manage with these is, as naturally as you can expect, you've got 650 horsepower, you've got rear-wheel drive, you've got no ABS, you've got no traction control. This is as raw as it gets when it comes to racing. There is nothing that can compare to a V8 Supercar in GT racing. Absolutely nothing. And that's what I love about them. They're so unique in what they are. It's just a fantastic piece of engineering, and I'm so excited to be able to have the RAWC community, the RAWS community coming in and having a go as well, because this could very well be something that I'd absolutely love to see as a full championship, as a full series, and to have as well, 23 people come in, 24, 25 people. It's fantastic. And it's just going to be great. You are going to love this, Craig. You are going to absolutely love it.
I hope I am going to love this, because every time I've seen the V8 Supercar, to me it feels like almost like NASCAR racing, so stock car racing. And I love Daytona, and I enjoyed the first few seasons around here when the NASCARs did Daytona Road. Big issue though, there is no NASCAR chicane on the front stretch at the tri-oval like you would do when it's a stock car, as I would call it. V8 cars are different to a stock car, but it's kind of got the same precipice of, you're having to brake a bit earlier, you're having to do a bit of coasting around the corners, you have to be flipping with the braking. So it's going to be interesting to see. I have been watching practice as they are just finishing their qualifying laps, free qualifying laps over 10-minute period, and they're having to brake pretty early. Not as early as what a stock car would do. We're talking just a little bit later, but if you know turn one in your GT racing or your LMP racing, it's usually just around like the yellow line on the apron, just a little bit before. No, go back further, almost when it starts the countdown markers. That's where we're looking at today. And it's kind of the same as well. You see Dylan Kinch just out there at the moment. It's kind of the same for the rest of the drivers. Times are coming in thick and thin. What times do you expect we see? I'm seeing 44s in qualifying. It's a cold track out there, 21 Celsius, 69 Fahrenheit. Are we expecting the times to just hover around there? Is that what we expect?
I think realistically we can probably assume that. It's very hard to tell because I've not seen these cars race around a track like this or race around Daytona for quite a considerable amount of time. I mean, Harry Wills is currently leading the way with a 1:44.502. I'm sure we're going to see possibly that time come down maybe a little bit. I mean, looking at it, Chris Whaley as well is only a 10th behind. Everyone else is in the pits. Bear in mind, there's only a couple of minutes left. I wonder if we're going to get maybe just the last few people sort of like jump in at the very last minute. It's going to be tricky to tell, though. I think Harry, though, with that time, at that 44.5, it's a respectable time, definitely.
It is a respectable time. I mean, in practice, just to give some idea of practice times, Harry was the second fastest, and we're looking at him at pole at the moment. In practice, he managed to do a 1:43.877. That was only beaten by Alejandro Garcia de la Mata Torres, who did a 1:43.717. So that just gives you an idea, really, that there is more pace out there. Really looking to see what other pace there is, as we see at the moment with Dave Neubauer just coming across the line right now. And you can just see he's just going completely past the line. I think he may have been okay there, but some of these drivers are staying their final laps. Matthew Alvis here as well, and he's coming up to the bus stop, which to me is the best corner on the track, but it's also the most trickiest. I don't know if you agree.
I think realistically, it's in a V8 supercar. Yes, it's one of the trickiest corners you can get. It's very hard because you denote the level of V8 supercar, trickiness with, that's really how you. To be fair, again, you can just see there the car pitches, it rolls a little bit. These cars are heavy. Jacob Money as well, a good friend of mine, just got in up to P18 with a 47 888. Yeah, you can see the car pitching and rolling. This is a heavy car. They've taken everything out of it. It is a bare shell chassis. But at the same time, it still weighs a good 1,600 kilos. Not a light car by any stretch of the imagination. Might even be a little bit more than that. There's a lot of car to carry around. So you've got to be cautious, especially in that higher speed corners. What does Matthew Alves do? Does he improve on his time? I don't believe, unfortunately, I don't think that time was able to count. Here is now riding on board with Jacob Money. One of the Positively Racing cars that you may very well be able to see in a few moments' time. Oh, getting a little bit screwed. That will have cost him. I think that would be it. Done and dusted. Well, I mean, there we are. Quite an abrupt end to qualifying there. Craig. But Harry Wills taking pole position.
Harry Wills taking pole position with that 144.259. We've got a 28-car grid, and 20 of them did set time. So if we were saying Harry Wills, pole position, Chris Wally with a 144.613. Jesus Maya Pavala, apologies with the pronunciation there, 144.634. James Costa, 144.804. Stuart Reynolds then goes fifth with 144.849. Into the 45s now, Dean Timms at 145.043. And look at Daniel Gilding right behind him, 145.048. Dylan Kinch with a 145.134, and Simon Dodd with 145.180 for ninth, and Chris Hamer rounds out the top 10 with 145.318. Levi Johnson will go 11th with 145.569. Drew Neubauer will be 12th with 145.724. Joseph Smith, 145.827. Ken Soska, 146.322. Matched at the same time as Simon Chester. Oh, no, it didn't. Sorry, it's a 146.332. That's my eyes deceiving me in 15th. Alejandro, I would say Torres there with a 146.401 in 16th. Jason LaForte with 146.468 in 17th. Jacob Money at 147.888 in 18th. Sean Campbell with a 149.773 in 19th. John Casey, the last of the qualifiers, 152.386.
Indeed, it's close. It is close, and I'm sure we're going to be seeing battling all the way up and down the field, which is exactly what we want. There are the cars there, as you can see, as we're just running through the remainder of the grid for you. Oh, I am excited. I am excited, to say the least. It's going to be... do you know what? I think realistically as well, it's just going to be something that I'm just very... we don't know what's going to happen. That's the thing as well. We don't really have an idea as to what's going to happen. And in a way, I'm okay with that. I don't think that's a bad thing. I really don't think that's a bad thing at all, Craig, to be fair.
I agree. I mean, we're always told, expect the unexpected. A race is never over. Even a race is still battling after a corner, as they always say to me. But you never know what's going to happen. I think that's the fun of it. We don't know if we're going to see 5-10 cars slide out of the first corner, or NASCAR style with 4 wide into the first corner. We don't know how many lockups we're to get into the first horseshoe, and we did see a lot of lockups going into the first horseshoe in practice, and a lot of one-tire lockups, which are pretty interesting to see. So I'm looking forward to this. 25 minutes for the first of 2 races. And it is, remember, because it's Daytona, it's that slow start, that slow pace lap where the pace car will go in. But because it's road, the green flag will go pretty quickly. So what does Harry Wills have for these drivers? Because he will control the pace in that lovely blue, that almost sky blue. The green flag is out, and Harry Wills will go. And he catches everybody sleeping. Chris Wally's going to be just pumping in behind him, and back in the back of the field. It is 3 wide, but as they come down to the first corner, Wills will take that lead still. Jesus Mayalava will try and battle for P3. He doesn't. There is one car just having a little slide. I think that's Stuart Reynolds. Has he held on to that position? The rest of the cars, there has been a spin at the back, but the rest of the cars have managed to make it through the first corner.
I say, oh, that was a big send for Christopher. That was a send being happened. That was Drew Neubauer sending it on Christopher Hammer. That was a fair play indeed. I think, to be fair, Chris had to take some evasive action, but they're going to go side by side yet again as they go through down into the midsection of Daytona Road Course. Manages to maintain all, and Christopher Hammer manages to then get back ahead of Drew. That was a fantastic move there from Drew. Really, really good stuff. See a bit of brake locking as well. That's not going to help situations here. That's going to be costing people time. That's the key thing. If you need to make sure that you can keep your tyres in check, because if you don't, that's when towards the end of the race it starts to go. Someone went off a little bit wide there. We've got a couple of replays that we're going to look at in a few moments' time, but Christopher Hammer, look at the run he's got going forward on Joseph Smith. Just going to ride on board, goes to pull out, decides, well, I don't really think, to be fair, maybe pulled out a bit too early. Can't really do much at that point. Slots back to the inside. What is going to happen here? Oh, this is tricky here, Craig. Going to go through the bus stop flat out on the first lap.
Oh, he's doing it! He's doing it! Can he go around the outside? On the grass, he's hold on to it. How has he held on to that, Chris Hamer? He hasn't got the position, but at one stage I thought he was going off. The tyre wall was calling for him, but he's managed to keep it going. Now, you see just behind, Drew knew about. This is one thing I always like to talk about when it comes to Daytona. Do not go up that bank early. You go up that bank, you lose the speed. That's what's happened to Drew. Look at the gaggle behind. Hamer will take this position. He's going to have a good run, but hold on 1 second. Neubauer wants to take it free, wide, down into turn one. Will anybody back out of it? Indeed, Drew will. And Joseph Smith just looked like make it. There has been a spinner up ahead, and that is another car going off. Simon Goddard has gone off. And everybody's just trying to avoid it as well. Not sure who else went with him there, but a couple drivers there just getting caught out and just being a little bit spooked by that. And while that's happening, Joseph Smith almost losing a position to Levi Johnson as Chris Hamer just completely goes on now.
Exactly. Let's have a look, because we've got a fair few replays to look out. So this is the first one with Simon Dodd. I wonder what happened here, to be fair, from the Eclipse Racing teams. He just go a little bit sailing. Oh, that's a late break. Oh, you can see that there's the lockup and manages to avoid anything happening. Here's what happens with Drew Nauber. Apologies. So as they go in, so he backs off. I don't know if he just gets tagged a little bit. So just goes a little bit wide on his own accord and then decides that realistically, he's not going to be able to make that corner, so manages to take evasive action. Jacob Money also having a moment going into turn one after the first lap. Yeah, just about manages to put the car in. Again, is it just going to be... Oh, yeah, lock the brakes up. Just lock the brakes. So tricky. If the brakes lock, that's it. It's almost game over. You've got to be so cautious here. So careful. Matthew Alves as well. What happened on the exit here? Is it a bit of contact? Doesn't seem to be. Oh, bit of a wiggle. But, realistically, it was someone else gone off. Who was that? It just went a bit wrong there, I think. I think it was Jacob Money having another off as well, which isn't ideal.
Yeah, it looked like it looked like a VRT driver there just going off. Not sure which VRT, but it's all got a little bit quiet at the moment. But Harry Wills currently having to just battle with Chris Wally. Wally will take the lead. I was going to say retake the lead, but that's the first time he's taken the lead. Wills has gone a bit wide there, and Costa, the smoke is going everywhere, but somehow, Jesus manages to hold on to it. I do apologize. I didn't say it like that. Maya Vapala holds on to it and manages to take that P2, catching out behind as well. You've got Stuart Reynolds coming in for a move, and this to me feels like when Race Anywhere a few seasons ago had a fantastic 75-minute race at Daytona. Everybody's getting them at the front of the field. It's getting their moves done into the first corner, into the first horseshoe, and then just take a step back and just wait. You can see Wills is a little bit more experienced, and he is going to go too wide there. Lock up there from Mayapala, and they're going to go too wide almost just into the entry of the oval. And Wills, is he going to go around the outside? I think he is. He can't keep it under control. He's going to lose that momentum. He may lose P3 as the result of this. Reynolds does have a run here. I don't think he's going to be able to make anything from this.
No, I just don't think he's a little bit too far. I think he's just a little bit too far back. Stuart Reynolds, he's going to be able to catch up, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Here we are now riding on board with Reynolds here. I think they're going to have to just go single file down into the bus stop, just take it nice and easy, nice and controlled, and then as soon as you come out, key is the clean exit on the way out. If you can get that, you're laughing. Stuart Reynolds goes a little bit wide, bit of downforce loss as well. These cars admittedly don't produce all that much downforce, but even that small little bit of downforce, the aero wake in front of the car, that's going to be costing. Obviously, it hurts a lot more in higher powered cars and more, high downforce cars. But in these, it still makes a bit of an effect. But look at the run he's got now going through. Is there going to be a possible lunge? He's going to carry a lot of overspeed going through. He might very well do it. He's going to have to go to the outside. But good look at that. You've got Harry Wills. He's got no one on the inside. So he's going to have to take the inside line. And you know what? Stuart Reynolds, he goes a little bit wide, locks up, but he manages to keep the momentum up. Doesn't quite make it stick. Oh, he spun. No, just got that is the problem with the V8 Supercars. That is the one and only problem. You touch the throttle too soon. Nothing is going to save you.
You've got to be careful. You've got to be feather on those throttles. You cannot be a lead foot like myself, and that has cost Stewart there with that move. Managed to get a few places, and there is some more chaos at the back. That's Jacob Money having a little bit of a slide there, and everyone's now starting to get caught out. And he's going to be losing a few more positions from that. I think he managed to keep it out of the wall, which is key, but everybody knows in their experience at the Daytona, you spin it at turn one, you do not know where you're going, and that is just not where you want to be. You can just see on the replay that there he goes. He just had to spin, unable to do anything. But we get back to the front of the field. Harry Wills is making moves. He's managed to take back that P2 over Mayapala. They are going to be battling. James Costa is well with behind them. Look at the three of them. Look at Costa. He has a run. He has the speed, but is there anything for him? And he's tapped the brakes. He realizes that they're not going to try anything risky here. I don't think so. Everybody just checks up. It's going to be a good run down into turn one again, though.
It is going to be absolutely got to be careful. This is Harry Wills' look now. Jesus Mayavalpa. I think realistically he's too far back now. The person that I'm interested most is what's James Costa going to do? Is he going to? Well, he's going to have to make a move. I think realistically he can't not. This is a perfect position for him to try and make the move here. Look at that. He's already pulled outside. They're both catching up now to Harry Wills. The gap was half a second. Now it's down into 3/10. It's going to be a drag race. Harry Wills goes to the outside, allowing James Costa to have that run a little bit more of a toe. Down drag race or later. Who's the last of the late breakers? Oh, I think it is Jesus Mayavalpa. Oh, just hanging around the outside. James Costa can't quite manage it. Dean Timms is in the pits, though, unfortunately, so he's obviously had some damage. And he's picked that up from somewhere, and that's going to cost him this race, unfortunately. He won't be able to make any positions up after this, as long as he can come out. Harry Wills, though, now is 1.6 seconds ahead. 1.6 seconds behind Chris Wally. So I think realistically that's a good position there from the number 5. I mean realistically that's an incredible amount of pace realistically in this short space of time. I've only been running for about 7.5 minutes.
I want to talk about somebody who's got some insane pace at the moment down in P6. Sean Campbell defending, well, as it used to be called from the old series, but was one of the defending, a former champion in the Race Anywhere World Series back with its previous sponsor. Lost the championship due to a countback last season. He started all the way down in 19th. He's made 13 positions up. And we've only had 9 minutes of racing. Sorry, 9 minutes of racing. It's absolutely madness what he has managed to do here. And he's catching on to Daniel Gilding very well. If anyone doesn't know Sean Campbell's pedigree, not only did he dominate in a McLaren when it came to the series twice, but this is the man that can really put his hand at anything. A super late model, he will take it around a European track. You will see him usually at Camel GT driving around the GTP. He is basically able to drive a lot of things, and just in this short time, he picked up this legacy V8 supercar, and he's all the way up to P5. 7 seconds might be a bit of a stretch for him, with everybody else battling in front. But what a move up now by Sean Campbell. But he is going to lose this as Daniel Gilding. Does he want to make the move? I don't think he will. There's a lot of lock up there from Campbell, but brilliant control. Just kept that wide, and it was almost just like that was just a normal racing line. That's what I'd be doing in my GT cars. But for him, that was just simple.
Yeah, there's a couple of different lines you can take through there, to be perfectly honest, and we see the 2 different lines being exercised there. This is Albin Kjellberg. Apologies again for any pronunciations. Having a bit of a battle with Ken Soska, and that's Levi Johnson up ahead as well. So a bit of a battle between the three drivers then, albeit very, very briefly. I think that was actually Levi Johnson passing Albin Kjellberg. So that was a bit of a wiggle there for. That was just a little bit of a wiggle for the number 11, so that's going to cost them. Currently, I believe that's the Jack Daniels livery. Cracking livery. That's not the Jack Daniels livery, that's the Red Bull livery. I don't know what I'm looking at, but it's definitely not that. So, Levi Johnson, that little bit of wiggle. It's amazing how much time that can cost, because now, look at it, the gap was about half a second, now 3/10. This is going to be in a perfect position now for Kjellberg, because all he's got to do is get a nice clean exit, and that's actually what he's actually going to get the place, possibly even just handed to him, because Levi Johnson goes slightly wide. That's going to cost him even more. He might be able to keep it back as long as he can keep the run now on Kjellberg. As long as he can stay with him within that 7/8 of a second, he's going to be able to maintain some positions.
thought for a moment when you were talking there was a commentator's curse. It's both of them.
No,
had a
not
little
at
bit of a
all.
lock-up coming onto the over. No, not at all. We knock on wood here, definitely. But you can see he's managed to hold on to it. Levi's deciding it's just not worth it. And in Ohio, I say that, now I've cussed and I've knocked on wood. Mistake from Kelberg. And now Johnson is going to have the run. But if he goes now, remember, this high banking will take a lot of your speed off. These cars are not designed for this type of racing up this high at an angle.
Oh.
But he's managing to make it work with a little bit of, I wouldn't say side drop, but he's making it work. And is he side by side?
I don't know. Well, I've just got to cut you off there because it's all gone wrong. It's all gone wrong, Craig. Says for Daniel Gilding. It's gone wrong for Daniel Gilding and Thomas Dandridge. So they've both had accidents. I'm not too sure what's happened here. But ultimately, I have to see a replay of this. Oh, I'm sorry to cut across you there, Craig, but it all just went completely for Thomas Dandridge. Let's just have a quick look. We see Daniel Gilding. So he had a bit of a run on his own accord. And then Thomas Dandridge again just getting... Oh, that was a hefty hit. That was a hefty hit into the barrier there. That's going to cost him.
Well, I've just seen two VRT drivers spin. And that was Thomas Dandridge having a spin, and then Alvin Kelber, both at the first horseshoe. And I've just watched Ken Soska thread the needle. And now as I say that, he's gone off at the kink. Everybody's crashing. I was just praising Ken Soska. I go back to him, and he crashes as well. But you're just watching Jacob Money at the moment. Everybody's just losing a little bit of the car. I think the tires starting to really wear out here. Just really showing you. De Torres, though, at the front. Well, near the front. He was at the front. He's been losing positions. He is working his way with Chris Hamer. He is battling. And Hamer in that Red Bull versus the Rockstar. Any other energy drink is available. But I think Hamer might just have to run. He's got a lot of damage, but there's no aero damage. It's just some rear panel damage and shouldn't affect him. I think he should, if he can, just claw up to Torres. I don't think he is, actually. Just looking at the times, Torres is actually faster, and Hamer's unable to make speed up. So Hamer's going to lose out here. He had a great exit at the bus stop. Was not going to work for him. Torres, providing he does not make any mistakes, and I am knocking on wood. I don't have a wood table, but I am knocking on wood, and hopefully nobody makes any more mistakes. It's all happening here in the last 2 minutes.
Indeed, we've got a little bit longer to go yet. We've got another 12 minutes left to go. You hear the overrun there. I think that was Jacob Muddy just going across. Overrun there. Oh, Jacob Muddy's had another spin. Oh, this race has gone from bad to worse for Jacob Muddy. He's going to lose out on 2, even possibly 3 positions. I'll tell you what, though, he just about slots in between Ulvin Kelberg and Levi Johnson. Not ideal for Johnson. He definitely didn't want that, but like I said, he's had to, unfortunately, concede that position, so that's where Jacob Money slots back in. I'll tell you what, at the front, though, what's happening up here, because Harry Wills and Chris Whaley, they're having a big right old tussle as they're going to go both into the bus stop side by side. No, because Harry Wills thinks about it and decides against it, but he's got a very, very good exit. You almost, to be fair, Greg, you probably agree with me on this, you don't want to pass too early on the banking. I know you mentioned this before, but what we've just seen here, I think Harry Wills has pulled that a bit too early.
Oh, he's gone very high. Gone very high. Was he just trying to just get a, maybe go up and down the hill, get a little bit of speed? That's what he is. He's got a massive run. Look at the speed right now as he hits 300 kilometers an hour, but they're still side by side. They're still side by side. He's got to go around the outside, and he has broke a little bit later, but around the outside here at turn 1 is not going to work. He may get the over-under. He may get the over-under. They're still side by side, and then Wills has got the advantage. Has he just pulled that up?
No!
He's lost the car. He's lost the car. He's going to... Oh, no, it's all gone wrong. What a move from Harry Wills, and then out of nowhere, and thankfully he does not become a bowling ball. But, oh, he went from the lead after that fantastic move, and you could just see he got on the throttle a little bit too early, just kicked out there, and he has now gone down to P4. I mean, I was just praising him. I'm sorry. Harry's going to watch this back. I'm sorry, Harry. I think I may have cursed you there.
I think, let's have a quick look. I think it was a... do you know what? It was a third gear. It was third gear throttle that caught him on the curb. It doesn't take a lot, does it? And that's all you need. And that we just see a plume of smoke everywhere. Oh, Kelberg! Ah, what a save! What a save there from Oliver Kelberg and the Verve Racing team. That was fantastic. I mean, to be fair, I don't think he'll be thinking of it that way. He may need a new race suit after that, but he's going to be left the door wide open from Simon Dodd. No, he can't quite capitalise on it, though. Simon Dodd just put in the exact position where it needed to be, but this has now allowed Levi Johnson to catch up a little more. Jacob Money's got front row seats here to what's happening, and I think, let's see if we can actually ride on board with Jacob Money, because I mean, realistically, he just needs to sit there, does what he needs to do, doesn't need to do anything else, and just possibly pick up the pieces if something does happen.
Yeah, that's the best position. But he is trying to make a move here on Levi Johnson, but just not going to work here. These cars, you can't really send it. You've got to set yourself up. You've got to set yourself up in advance. And like I said, Jacob Money, like you were saying, has got a fantastic view of this, especially when they come onto the banking. I love seeing the banking here. Just beautiful, especially here. It's one of my favorite places of racing when you come out of turn 2, NASCAR 2, down the straight and see everybody at pitch black. They're almost going 3 wide in front, and they just back out of it. But Levi Johnson's going to go around Simon Dodd. He's made the advantage there. He's seen Simon's given that position up, and he's overtaken Simon Dodd around the outside of the bus stop. That's a new one to me, and I love what I'm seeing. And now Levi's going to have to use that slipstream on Kelleberg to see if he can just pull away from Dodd, but it's not going to work. Dodd is right there. Simon Dodd is on his bumper, and it's a good thing he doesn't have his face on that bumper, on that front, because that's all he'll see. They're going 2 wide again. They're almost going to go 3 wide again. Levi Johnson is now going to take the lead out of this trio, and now Kelberg's the one that decides, I can't go. And Kelberg loses the car again and saves it. But Jacob Money will take that position. Will go around the outside. Now Kelberg at the back of this. This feels like a 4-man peloton. You take the lead. No, you take the lead. I'm not sure who wants to lead, but I'll tell you something. These 4 are having a barn burner, and there is 8 minutes to go.
Whoa, Jacob Money just about managing to save that. Wow, that was close. I'd tell you what, these cars, it doesn't matter what race you have, you can't not enjoy these cars. You really can't. Ken Soska, definitely looking at car. Oh, that was a bit of Tokyo Drift there from Matthew Alvis, I believe, just behind. Ken's Soska, his car has seen better days, hasn't it? But he has got another race to go with, bear in mind, although definitely something that he's going to be not particularly happy about, I'm sure, in the number 07. Like I said, he's got a little bit more time. He's got another race to maintain and to try and come back from that. But yeah, battling still up and down the field. The main battling as well is still happening again between Kelberg and Christoph Hamer as well, just up ahead. But Jacob Money and this is now Albin Kelberg, both having a good old ding-dong here, good old battle. I wonder as well what's going on up ahead. I think the leader as well, Hades Mayavalpa and Chris Whaley, are both having a bit of a battle side by side. Why, that was close. Jacob Money gave it a good old go going to the bus stop. Couldn't quite make it stick though, and that will have cost him a little bit. You can just see there, it's cost him a couple of tenths. He has got some damage on the front though. That will hurt him on the straight, but not enough. It's going to be now pulling himself back up. Pulls out on the outside of Kelberg. And are they going to be going through turn 1 side by side? Yes, they do indeed. Turn 1 side by side. Jacob Money's got the slight advantage. Last the late breakers. It is Kelberg this time. And unfortunately, Jacob Money has to wait another corner.
He is. He is, and I'm surprised there because Money, I think Jacob just lost the car and was forced to get the car complete under a stop there, and he's lost all that. He has lost Kelberg there. I'm not sure exactly what has happened there, but there we see Mavapala. As I just say that, Kelberg's just had a spin and just lost that position. We're going to be watching Jesus Mavapala, who has been leading for a while. Chris Wally is a second behind. I think something happened there with Chris last lap because he has lost that lead, and also we did see Harry Wills is in the pit, so hopefully we'll be able to catch up what happened there because Sean Campbell's now sitting in P3, but Jesus is currently leading the way, and I think we're just going to see... No, we're not, sorry. That's now we're going to keep our eyes on Jesus. 5 minutes 40 to go, so I'm reckoning there's going to be another, 4 laps to go? That's what I'm thinking of. We're just trying to catch what was happening. I don't think there is anything. And there, yeah, you just see Wally just trying to hold on there as much as he can. A lock up there from Jesus. Gap has come down, as you can see, just under a second now between these two. I think Chris wants that lead back. He was enjoying it in front, but he's having battles, and you cannot deny that. The front of the field has been changing positions. 3-4 drivers have had a shot for the lead all race, and we still don't know who's got a chance of winning.
No, this is very true. We really don't. I mean, it has boiled down to, sure, Campbell, the gap is 8 seconds. Realistically, I mean, it's going to have to be a hell of a few laps There's a bit of a lock-up from Jesus May of Alpin. That's going to leave the door wide open for Chris Welly. Just goes straight through. And May of Alpin's had a spin. Oh, my goodness. That has not gone well at all. I don't think, Dean, we should be commentating, Craig, sorry, we should be commentating for much more of this race because we seem to be cursing literally everyone. And sure, Gamble, the gap has gone from 8 seconds down to 1.2. And it's not going to hurt May of Alpin's tyres are going to be a little bit toasty after that, I should say. It's probably the kindest way to put it. The gap's now already 7/10 of a second. So Sean Campbell, from a lonely race in P3, has actually found himself possibly in a position to make up it into P2.
Yeah, great position there. Also, you got to remember with Jesus, that's a great save because I'm pretty sure the car almost went 90 degrees. So to get that car back on, he had an 8-second gap between himself and Campbell. So to keep it really only losing 7 seconds, I thought he was done and dusted. And he's been able not to. Now, was that a slowdown coming out the bus stop there for Jesus? He's gone high, and Campbell's gone right by it. Is this new repaved, new look bus stop that they put in a couple months ago on iRacing? It is fantastic, but if you make the mistake, you are going to pay for it still. It's still like the old days. So that's gone on there, and I think we're just going to see now. This is the replay from Harry Wills losing the car. Is he going to just clip it? He's going to break in. And there you go. Yeah, I think he just clipped the grass there on brakes. Not entirely sure there, but you can just see. And he just lets a few cars go by. But yeah, there's that one mistake. And of course, when you spin, the rear tires, they are going to be hot. So for the next few corners, you are going to feel it. And you can just see that one mistake. And it wasn't grass. I am mistaken. It was not grass. It was just maybe... Could be just a case of blipping, just maybe a bit too hard on the braking. You just don't know. It's one of those things. So that's unfortunate for Harry. But at the moment, the VRT boys, by the looks of it, they're having a little bit of a fun battle between Crittenden and Kelberg.
Indeed, Kelberg got the run coming down now onto Crittenden. Is he going to be able to make the move? It's going to have to be a last-minute dive. Crittenden goes to the outside. Interesting line through there to try and take a defensive, but I don't think there is going to be any defensive, so the teammates working together. Oh, no, Kelberg's had a spin. Doesn't luckily manage to take out his teammate, which is, I'm sure, Crittenden will be absolutely very well relieved. But, yeah. Kelberg, not ideal, just a tad late on the brakes. The problem is as well, I don't think it was necessarily late on the brakes, but if you're carrying a little bit too much speed on that shallower line, it can actually really hurt you because you've got to try and put an additional bit of steering lock. These cars are prone. They've got a semi-locked differential as well, which doesn't help the situation, which is why the cars slide about so much because of the way that the diff has been set up. And again, if you just lock that rear up, it's so hard to get it back. It's an instantaneous switch as well, which is what happened there for Kelberg. So a very, very big shame indeed. So, again, it's a shame. It's one of those things. It's a learning experience for everyone here, to be fair. I think that's the best way to put it. It's a learning curve. And I think it's, one of the best learning curves you can probably have.
Yeah, and Kelberg just had another spin as well. It is one of those things as well. You've got to remember, not only is it just a shallower line, that if you have been slipstreaming somebody, you're looking at going an extra 10 kilometers an hour faster than where you were. So you're looking at doing like 300 kilometers, 310 maybe at a push, compared to a 290 or 295. So that can also be factored because, of course, if you've got a blip to shift down, you're usually after like a certain feel for the car, a certain certain speed of the car, and just going that extra faster speed, you're probably going to miss your optimal blip and your best shifting, and that may also upset the tires. I know when it comes to stock cars, the back tires will hop. I'm not entirely sure if it does it with the V8, but that is a situation. So, has been a lot of drama, a lot of battles going on. We still got Stuart Reynolds in the fray here, and he's battling Jesus Mevapala. And I think he may have this, and in fact, he may have just pinched himself, but no. There's a lap card there just letting him by, and they just go 3 wide. That's the benefit of Daytona here. They're able to do that, and I think, Reynolds is able to just pull it forward. Crazy here, but they've got to be careful. Harry Wills has had an off at the bus stop. He's just pulled before the bus stop, so that's okay. That's okay. I thought he was on the bus stop there. He isn't, but Reynolds will take this P3 away from Jesus. And that Hungry Jack's super cheap auto supercar that Jesus Mevapala is driving at the moment is catching. These are the only two. Well, there's 3 Fords in the top 10. I know already there's no difference between the cars, but these are the only Fords, and they're having a big battle at the moment as Jesus will take to the side again. And I think that's another easy position. It is. And I think that's the last lap. It was the last lap, sorry.
This indeed, this is the last lap. One more to go, and then Chris Wally will be taking the checkered. 7 seconds is the gap, but the battle to focus ourselves on is between Jesus Valpa and Stuart Reynolds as they come down. Oh, that's a bit of a lunge around the outside for Stuart Reynolds. He's going to try and get the cutback. Can't quite do it. The Super Cheap Auto, currently driven by Valpa, just about manages to stick in front for the moment. To be fair, if I was anyone, I'd rather be Stuart Reynolds in this position because he is very much in control of what's happening in the next few corners. What you'll find here, and I've already put money on this, he won't go on the first straight. However, what he'll do, as long as he can stay with Valpa, he'll go as soon as they get through the bus stop. It will be hammer down, off they go. If there's a position, he won't make it going through into bus stop because otherwise that's going to be a complete role reversal as they come down, going through to the next bus. So this is where you use this straight here to catch up to the car in front, and then you use the next straight after the bus stop to make the pass. That's what will happen here, as long as they're close enough.
Yeah, I think that's the best way to do it as well. As long as he gets a good run here, he doesn't want to be too close to Jesus here. If he's too close there, he will make him as he will not be able to get the optimal pull away. And there you go. A little bit of early braking. He has closed that gap. The gap is 0.3 of a second. We know Chris Wally's going to win this first race. We know Sean Campbell's going to get this P2. It is going to be a run now between the two of them. And Reynolds isn't using that slipstream right away. It's not a slowdown. No, he's using that high and down again. Using the high down again to get a little bit of speed. Now he gets that slipstream. But has that cost him a little bit? 282, 285. He's catching. He's going to make this with no problem. We know Wally's won. We know Campbell's got P2. And Stuart Reynolds will take P3 by less than a tenth. And I want to just see what the official... It was 0.03 of a second. Reynolds will take P3.
Very good stuff indeed. Cannot argue with that, to be perfectly honest. Not in the slightest. That was absolutely fantastic. Simon Dodd, though, have a look at this because we've still got battles as well. Might ever be another possible move here. So Simon Dodd, he's going to get a run. Look at the run that he's got on Kellberg. Oh, it's going to be close here as they come through. Coming down, we've just seen Levi Johnson and Chris Hamer have just both gone through. Oh, a bit of a tight line for Simon Dodd, though. That's going to cost him. As long as he can get a good exit, though. Right, he needs to get the hammer down. Whoa, wow. Oh, my goodness, it's still going on. Oh, my goodness, we had front row seats to that. Unfortunately, I mean, well, look at Ken Soska. He's just gone, thank you very much, chaps. I will just sail through, and off he goes. I think Simon Dodd was so unlucky there. So unlucky, because that move, or the instant ahead from Kellberg, it just happened for about 3 or 4 seconds. I feel very, very sorry there for Dodd.
Yeah. That was a case of, have I got the right way? I've got the right... No, I don't have the right way. No, this way? No, he had no... Like, hats off to Kellberg for trying to fight that, because that car did look saved, and then it didn't, and then it did again, and a little bit of a rear tap there with some donuts at the end from Dodd. I mean, everyone's just having a little bit of fun before the second race, but yeah, that was so unlucky for Simon. Just had the right move, but every time he wanted to make the move, Kellberg was just holding on. It looked like a horse you were trying to control. He just wasn't able to control that horse. Just lost control, and unfortunately for Kellberg, that sent him sideways. Simon Dodd, he does finish that unlucky 13th position, but eyes are definitely on the prize at the front of the field, but of course was Chris Wally winning the race by 6.7 seconds to Sean Campbell, with, as we were seeing at the end there, Stuart Reynolds taking P3 away from Jesus Mayovhala, to finish 4th, and James Costa will be 5th. Alejandro Garcia de la Mata Torres will be 6th. Levi Johnson will be 7th. Chris Hamer 8th. Jacob Money 9th. What an eventful race for Jacob Money. Nick Crittenden will be 10th. Daniel Gilding will be 11th. Ken Soska will be 12th. Simon Dodd will be still 13th, with Dylan Kinch coming 14th. Simon Chester will be 15th. Matthew Alves will be 16th. Thomas Dandridge 17th. Alvin Kellberg finishes 18th. Unfortunately, he was the last of the cars on the lead lap, and then you'll see Jerry Forakorb, John Casey, both a lap down. Harry Wills was 2 laps down. Drew Nibauer was 4 laps down. Dean Timms was 6 laps down. Lance Lafort 7. Joseph Smith was 11 laps down, and Frederic Lavoie was 15 laps down, with Ollie Marler and Peter Johansson not taking the start. I think Peter, unfortunately, has some PC issues, which is a shame.
Yeah, it's not nice, is it? Not nice when you have that sort of issues there. I mean, great racing. I love these cars. I'm so glad that we've got a good grid as well, especially it's very much in the European time. This is a European evening time. This will be very early in the morning for the Australians. So great to see. It's just amazing to see. Over 20 plus cars, 25 plus cars. Absolutely fantastic stuff. We are actually going to take a short break now because there is a bit of a warm-up, allow the drivers to cool down, have a bit of a drink. Also allows us to have a bit of a cool down after that action-packed racing and have a drink as well. We are going to be back in a few minutes' time, ready for the second race. And if race 1 had anything to go by, this is going to be a very, very exciting race 2. Stay tuned.
And we are back after a little break here, and we're getting ready for the second race of the night. And I'm having a quick look, and this looks to be a full reverse grid. We were promised by Harry Wills, the admin, that it was going to be a little bit of a surprise. Couldn't tell us. It's going to be a full reverse grid, which I'm looking forward to. We've got 2 minutes left to go, and I just want to point out again, this is a little bit of a let your hair down, a bit of fun before the main event starts. Coming soon, the Race Anywhere World Series, the press day, will be live on Absolute Sim Radio with everything else. In the series. So that is, of course, the whole league. And of course, I gotta just correct myself there. I said Absolute Sim Radio. We're not a radio. You see picture. This is Absolute Sim Racing. We will be bringing the Race Anywhere World Series, and we cannot wait for that. It'll be Daniel's first excursion into the series. So he's I'm not going to say he's right here. Are you very excited for it, Daniel?
Oh, of course I am. I mean, realistically, the GT3 is what I specialise in when racing. Any GT cars, V8 Supercars, GT1s, GT3s, GTs. I just love driving them. I absolutely love driving them. And being able to come on board with such a professional league that's been going for several seasons, I mean, it's great. Because the season it's an established season as well. We know we're going to have this amazing race, and obviously we did jump into the last, for the last finale round as well, and that was just fantastic. And this is going to be of similar sorts, I'm sure. It's just I can't wait. I just can't wait, and hopefully it's going to be a long-running and a long-standing partnership between Absolute Sim Racing and the event organisers.
I honestly cannot wait. And I can't remember the schedule. Can't remember at the top of my head, but there is going to be, I think it's going to be Daytona. This is going to be the press day track as well, which promises to be very fun. They are almost full. Literally, the free classes are almost full. I think the last call was 10 spots left in the pro class, which means we have 50 cars signed up. Not many leagues can say that. I'm not trying to toot the horn, but the Race Anywhere World Series, I have always claimed, is the hottest ticket in GT3 racing. With some of the broadcasts, anyone's ever seen my Twitter and just seen the clips that I provided before, just the insane amount of driving. We've seen free wides down at Monza to try and fight to get the amateur championship. We've seen last lap battles. I mean, the race that we covered here on ASR for the finale last season, the championship went down to the last lap, to the point that the championship scores were tied between the man that finished first and second. It was a blistering finish, and I mean, if that's what we got from the last few seasons, it's just gonna go up and up and up. And speaking of up, the race session is now up because practice or warm-up is finally over. So, in theory, should be Peter Johansson and Ollie Mahler taking pole position, but I don't think it is. It's Joseph Smith that will be taking provisional pole. And like I said, it was a reverse grid, but I believe it's Frederick Laval there. I'm not entirely sure, but Joseph Smith is definitely there. He will be on the front row. Harry Wills as well near the back as well. So a lot of these drivers who didn't get a chance last time will get a chance this time. Again, 25 minutes, full grid reverse. So keep your eyes on Sean Campbell and Chris Wally at the back, but keep your eyes everywhere because this is so fun. You can just see who starts where as well, just as we're going down there. This promises to be fun. At any reverse grid, you know what you're going to experience. You know what you could see. This is all for fun, so no one's going to be bashing each other for this. It's all for fun. We may see some turn one escapades at the front of the field, but the first few corners are going to be crucial to keep our eyes on as they come around NASCAR 3 and 4.
Absolutely. You know, when you look at it, the first, you've got to be careful. You've got to be cautious because the first lap is always the one that's going to be, like I said, you can't win. It's the age-old thing. You can't win in the first corner. You can certainly lose it. We see a little bit of lag there for Jason LaForte. Hopefully that will sort out before the race gets on the way. Otherwise, Joseph Smith's going to be very, very cautious as he goes into turn one. Pace car's going to pull in a few moments' time. See everyone warming their tyres up. Oh, it's going to be close. I'm looking forward to it. Craig, I will let you run them down to turn one.
There we go. Pace car is just coming in. The green flag is out, and Lance LaForte will be taking a little bit of the lead there, and Joseph Smith will go behind there. I think he just got caught out. Not sure what's happened to Jace there. We'll keep eyes on it, but meanwhile, at the back, they're going 3 wide almost, and that is the car just trying to send it in there, and that looks like it's Harry Wills. He got late on the braking, not paid off for him there. He does take a position. Dean Timms not had to start. He wants everybody at the moment at the back of the field is making it clean. Now then, what about turn one? I see a car, that's Kelbo, trying to make the move on Harry Wills. He does. There's been chaos at the front. And look at that. That's Joseph Smith with no hood anymore. Joseph Smith losing his hood there. It looked like a spin at the front by Jace. It was a spin at the front. Jason Ford taking a spin. Everybody just getting bunched up here. Now everybody's out of nowhere. But Joseph Smith, who started what was meant to be at the front row, has no hood. It's all gone a bit wrong there at the front for the leaders.
It has indeed. Let's have a quick look at what happened here as they go through. So here is Jace LaForte as they go through. What is it going to be? Is it just a bit too late? Just carries around, and unfortunately Joseph had nowhere to go. So Joseph had absolutely nowhere to go, and that was the cause of that there. And here we go. Albin Kjellberg trying to redeem himself from the incident that he had and the last lap incident he had on race 1. He's now leading race 2, but have a look though, because even though Joseph Smith doesn't have a front bonnet anymore, I say a front bonnet, he doesn't have a bonnet anymore, he's still in P3. Actually, as I say that, he's just dropped down to P4 because they're going to go side by side, possibly going through into the bus stop chicane. That is a brave move. Manches Thomas Dandridge, that is Kjellberg's teammate, just slipping up into P3. Unfortunately, with Joseph Smith, it's just going to be so tricky to maintain any pace now because he hasn't got that front bonnet. It's amazing how much that can really hurt, even though with iRacing how it all models it. So I think Harry Wills is just going to be sailing past, and look at that as well. He's actually got some front bumper damage as well. Not going to be helping the situation either.
And at the front, Drew knew about it. It looked like he was going to try and go around the outside of Kjellberg. When they cross the line, there's a slide behind Thomas Dandridge, and he does a 3-point slide, a little bit of contact and more contact. Put it in.
Oh my
Getting
goodness.
hit by Harry Wills, and they're all trying to avoid it. Everyone's trying to avoid that. Has been people caught up there. A little bit of a mistake. That is what we were talking about with Daytona. And another car has gone off. That looks like that's the Jack Daniels car. That's Matthew Alvis is having an off there as well. He's gone 9. He's gone back. Joseph Smith has towed. He's got no choice. Another car gone off as well. Chris Wally gone off at the first horseshoe. It's all going on at the moment.
Someone's blown their engine.
Just a little bit of a mistake there. Yeah, and someone's blown their engine. I'm not sure who it is. That is actually the Red Bull car. It's Chris Hamer. It's Hamer's lost the cut, lost the engine there. That's gone bye-bye, and he's going to be losing out as well. And everybody, where do you look at the moment? That one mistake, those couple issues there, the field was bunched up. They're bunched up even more now. But you can see at the front, Neubauer does not have that lead. He is trying to get it back, though. Kjellberg is still there. Dean Timms is now going to make a move. Dean Timms, by the way, started this lap P6, and he is now all the way up to P3. Again, we'll wait after the bus stop, and then it'll be a drag to turn 1.
Indeed, back to a drag to turn 1. Here they go through. I tell you what, you can actively see there that Dean Timms is close. He is close, isn't he? He's the closest he's actually been for the moment, but then just loses a bit of pace on the exit. I tell you, one person who's actually lost space on the exit is Kjellberg. So I wonder, is Neubauer, is he going to try and make a move? Pulls out of the stitching money. This is allowing Dean Timms, because he's been able to catch up to both of them because neither of them now have a tow. Don't count Dean Timms out of this going into turn 1. Really don't count him out. It's going to be Neubauer versus Kjellberg. Going to go side by side down into the first left-hander. Is he going to make it stick? Do you know what? Kjellberg has braked so late. Oh, nearly repeated what he did last lap. Look at, there you go. There's Dean Timms. Exactly as I said, right on the back now of this group, because they slowed each other down just a little bit. The person that still came out of that on top, though, was Kjellberg for the moment. But for how long, though? I think Neubauer and Timms both have pace on them at this current moment of the race. But it depends, though. Are they using more of their tyres to be able to make that position and to be able to keep that position up? That's a key thing. Someone's had a bit of a spin up ahead. What on earth? Had a spin behind. That was Harry Wills. Oh, dear. Let's have a quick look at that. Is it going to be, or is it going to be rinse and repeat of what we've seen before? Actually, it might not be. It's just be snagging the brakes, I would imagine. Yep, there we go. So easy to do. So easy to do. And so frustrating when it happens as well.
Yeah, it's unfortunate there for Harry. It's just the way it's gone, and you can think as well. But meanwhile, it all's going elsewhere. We're just going to see a quick... That is Ken Soska. That's not where you want to be. This is not the rallycross track there, and he's just gone off there. So that's unfortunate going all the way around. But at the moment, while we're just keeping our eyes there, we're going to be looking down around the field. James Costa trying to make up some moves there. Stuart Reynolds there just having almost a bit of an off there. Costa's had a eventful start, but he's able to get 17th after starting near the rear. He is catching up to Stuart Reynolds. Got to think as well, Reynolds does have a clean car after taking a quick repair, but Costa has shown the speed he's got. He was a good finisher at the start of the last lap, and will he make anything there? But we'll look at that. We'll now look as well at Jesus Melapalva, who I must apologize, I will learn that name. He's almost at the back of Chester there. The police car versus the Super Cheap Auto car. I don't really think you want to be overtaking a police car. I know very well that's not a good thing to do, but he is going to go side by side down the start line, down the back front stretch. He does have that lead, but as we've seen before, just having the lead going into turn one does not grant you the position. And there you go, late braking from Chester. Can Jesus hold on to this? He is, you know, this is great. Around the outside, he's managed to hold that position. What a move!
Wow, that was very good indeed. Fair play to Veya Valpa in the number 10. That was absolutely fantastic stuff. Really, really good to see. That was really good to see. I thoroughly enjoyed that. We've just got Levi Johnson just had a bit of a moment, though, we've seen, so we might try and get a replay of that. At the moment, though, one of the closer battles that we've got, Jacob Money is having a bit of a much better race, actually, up in P6. He is being tagged a lot. Look at that, Harry Wills, only about half a second behind. So Harry Wills, we know he's got some pace. We know he's got a lot of pace here. And Jacob Money in the Positively Racing, number 27, managing to hold his own currently as it stands. Let's have a quick look to see what happened with Levi Johnson. Let's bring the replay up for you now. Is it just going to be, again, snagging the brakes, a little bit too much curb possibly? Oh, well, one would assume it would be on the brakes. That's a last-minute late lunge. Oh, yep, just locked up. So easy again, and so frustrating when it happens. Matthew Alvis has had a bit of a moment as well. Let's have a quick look to see if we can see. No, unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to get a replay of that. I do apologise. And then we go back to the action now with Harry Wills hunting down Jacob Money.
Yeah, hunting him down. Had a really good bus stop here in Wills. It's always been good race for him at the moment, and then he just makes a mistake in the infield. Unfortunately, that is the way it goes, but he is battling Jacob Money here, and he is going to take the inside. Hello, Jacob's decided, I'm going to give you the inside, Harry. He's going to see if Harry can make this work. Inside is a very tricky corner, and there you go. Jacob decided it's not worth the fight. So he's going to let Wills just take that position. Now, hopefully, Harry can hold on to this. We've seen a couple times now. Do not count anything out yet. We've seen him lose the car into the first corner. Lap car there, just come out the pit. Thomas Dandridge, that may help him. Just slow him down, and there you go. He's starting to pull away a little bit from Jacob Money. And that will help him. Just up ahead, though. Right up ahead of them as well. We say that. There's a little battle going on between Chris Wally and Nick Crittenden. And it looks like Wally wants to go around. Wally's not going to do this. Wally's not going to try to do this around the outside. He is not. There's also June Neubauer in front of them who's gone off at the second horseshoe as well. And he's going to get swallowed up by these two. Everything's changing at the moment. We're going to have a free car battle here for third onwards. And if you throw Harry Wills in, it's going to be a 4-car battle as they come on to the oval section.
Well, you think a 4-car battle? I mean, realistically, if these guys battle more and more, then Jacob Money, who's only about a second behind Harry Wills now, that's going to be another gap to watch out for. That's going to be another car that's going to get involved. I think realistically, it could all be blown wide open. Oh, this is going to be a bit of a send on the inside for Chris Wally. Is he going to make a stick? Yes, he does. To be fair, not too much battling from Crittenden, but he does get a better exit, though. So this is the only problem. You go fast into the bus stop, you then lose time on the way out. That's exactly what has happened here. Don't count, though. Let us not count Drew Neubauer. I wonder, he's 7 tenths behind. Also, don't count Harry Wills out. That 7 tenths is going to be about 4 tenths as they come down after the first corner. You watch. That's my bet here. 7 tenths going to come down to about 4 or 3.
Yeah, we want to keep an eye on that as well. Crittenden looks like he's going to be giving this position up. He'll let Wally go through, but as we were saying, it's down to 0.7, almost 0.6. You were pretty much on the money. Then it just allows them. But of course, Neubauer is battling Wills himself, so he can't really catch up to everybody because he's defending against Wills. And Wills, he's not going to go for a late move here. There's no room there. And he realizes that Wills has to just pull away from that. But a wide exit there for Neubauer, and Wills will take that position. So Wills climbing back up the foray, and some great moves. By the way, we haven't mentioned, Wally won the last race that he started at the back. 25 places he's made up. Just saying, 25 places. I mean, what a drive. I mean, let's hope this is a sign to come for the rest of the season. And oh, there's been another spin up front. That's Kelberg's had a spin just entering the oval. So it's all going on at the front now. And what we were looking at, what, a 3-car battle for P3 was now a 4, almost 5-car battle for P2 onwards. Madness going on at the moment. Absolute crazy.
Indeed, as you say, absolute madness is definitely one way to put it. So Kelberg, I said 3 tenths behind, 2.5 tenths behind. It's going to come down there. He's going to try and make a move back on Levi Johnson. I think he's realistically got the pace as long as he can maintain it going through the bus stop. Like I said, he's going to lose a bit of aero. That's going to cost him on the way in and on the way out, to be fair. All the way through bus stop, he's going to lose a bit of time. There it is. So there we are. There's the 3 tenths that he'll lose. But he just needs to try and gain that time back. It's half a second, no one in front of Johnson. I think it's probably going to come down again as long as he can just sit behind. Around about 3 tenths as they go into turn 1. But the main thing is you're carrying all of that overspeed. You might be able to capitalise on it, but you've got to still make sure that you hit your braking markers. Harry Wilson actually just up ahead is just about to go down the inside, going through into the turn 2 of Nick Crittenden. So Harry Wills making another position done and dusted there. Good move indeed for Harry Wills, and he's now up into P3, wanting P2 and ultimately to take that win.
Yeah, and really, when you think about it, if Wills just follows Chris Wally, just keeps in that slipstream, as long as he holds on in the infield, he will just keep up with Wally. He doesn't need to do anything. He can just let Chris do all the work to catch up to Dean Timms. Then these 3 can just have that battle. With 13 minutes left and a little twitch there from Harry Wills just going off, and you can just see what's going on. But Thomas Dandridge right here, he is a man just having a quiet race at the moment. Just on his own, as we've just seen there, as you've just seen that replay. That's why he had that spin. And Harry Wills now, gap is a second, going now shrinking.
So
but the key time, the key time here. What has happened to Crittenden? Sorry, is that a spin there from Crittenden? I think he has lost it. He did. He lost it. I was wondering where he was when looking down. Crittenden losing it on the oval, and there it is with Crittenden losing it on that. And that is a tough corner, full stop. Whether you're in a supercar, whether you're in a NASCAR, whether you're in a GT car, that corner will fight you. And you will see it a lot of times on first laps and a couple laps later at the start of the race. That really does come and hurt people just because of the cold tires or the lack of grip. So that has been happening quite a while here for some of the drivers, but not for these two. Dylan Kinch chasing Simon Chester. And I think a little bit of a bad exit there for Dylan. Loses to Chester there. I think, was that just a little bit of an off track, or just keep my eye out there? No, he just literally had too much momentum and had to back out. And yeah, I think that is actually a slowdown now for Dylan.
Slowdown not ideal. I've just had a quick look. Jacob Money has been quiet in all of this. He was, well, up to literally just a few minutes ago when Neubauer's just taken, he was P4. I mean, realistically, fair play to Jacob Money. He's just powering along, running his own race. Everyone's just having incidents around him, and he's just sailing all the way through. Halfway gone, 12 minutes left to go. And then we're going to be seeing who comes out on top for race 2. Harry Wills is very, very close to Chris Whaley, though. So he's only about 3 tenths of a second. It's going to be less when it comes onto the banking next time out, though. But yeah, Jake and Money having a good old battle with Neubauer. If he can maintain this sort of positioning going through into after the bus stop, going down the last straight and the last banking before the start-finish line, I reckon, again, a position could be made there. Neubauer goes very, very wide, but that is a line that you can take. That might be slightly too wide, but that is a line that you can take every now and again, nevertheless, as long as you manage the throttle and exit. That probably could be what's happening, though, is trying to open this steering up a little bit sooner to allow the car, well, allow you to get on the throttle sooner, but that has cost him. Jacob Money's now going to possibly have a look. I think he's going to back out. No, he's going to ignore me, and no, he's not. He's actually going to listen to me instead. And he's going to back out, go through the bus stop, and then pick the pace up again and drag race it down into turn 1. Realistically, you've got to be very, very brave to make a move, and also very confident to make a move into the bus stop chicane, especially in cars like these.
Yeah, you got to make sure you got that speed down. You got to make sure you don't have any of the tires sliding out behind you. But meanwhile, in front there, Harry Wills has been trying to make the move. I think it may be a bit too late now with him on this lap with Chris Wally. He will just allow it to go. He looks like he wants to go around the outside. Just at the fastest lap, a 1:44.079 has not worked for him as well. Meanwhile, Jacob Money does get that move on Drew Neubauer, take back that position while I was just looking on both ways. Got a lot of action everywhere at the moment, and now you're looking at James Costa having a move as well. Can he get this over Dylan Kinch? I think he will, and yeah, Dylan just decides it's not worth it. He's got Stuart Reynolds now. So again, what was a 2-car battle? Got to turn into a 3-car battle, and we've got all these 2-car battles at the front. Anywhere you look at the moment, you just see something going on. You just cannot find anywhere to go, and that's Harry Wills now. Save it, Harry. Save it, Harry. Don't know how he saved it. Really don't know how he just saved that, but brilliant there. We're just going to see exactly what happened. This is Wally just going off, and he takes it off. Does he touch the wall? He had a little bit of a scratch on the wall, but that gives Harry Wills on his own P2. Chris Wally is going to be 5 seconds behind them. Harry Wills is caught up to a second of Dean Timms. This is going to be a fantastic finish between these two if it stays like this. 0.6 of a second. I reckon this will go down to about 0.2, and Harry will have to yield and lift a little bit before they break into turn 1.
Do you know what? I think you're right. I mean, do you know what I would probably do in this situation if I was Harry? I mean, you got 5.5 seconds behind. I wouldn't make a move until the last lap. I really, really wouldn't. What I would do is if you've got pace to catch up with Dean Timms, which you can see again, the gap's coming down with the slipstream, I would sit behind him for the remainder of the next sort of 8 minutes or so. And then I would try and make the move on that last lap. If you sit behind, try and pressure the person in front into a mistake, possibly. And if not, you get them on the slipstream. You know, you're in a position you don't need to fight too hard at this moment in time. I know Harry's going to be wanting to. You can see that a bit of a lock-up for Dean Tim. That's going to open the door for a bit of a sniff from Harry Wills. Decides against it, though. Yeah, I think realistically you can't. There's no point pushing hard. There's literally no point pushing too hard, especially when you've got a 5-second gap behind. What's the point? I personally don't think there is, and I would be any other track I would consider differently. But someone like Daytona, you've got to read the rules, you've got to read the road, quite literally. And that, after the banking, the final banking, that's where you make the move.
I was gonna say, definitely read the road here, because it just really is a case of understanding the situation. Like I said, some of these drivers have a lot of experience driving around this track in longer formats. So while you would be saying, oh yeah, just lift and just save some fuel, there's no fuel saving here with 8 minutes now down the thing. A little bit of a slide there, almost like he's shaking his rear to us there as he's just trying to hold on, but Harry Wills managing to keep going. Gap's gone up to 0.6 of a second. That's not really important. If it was over 1 second, we'd start to be worried right now, but it's at 0.6. He will get into the bus stop, and providing it's a clean bus stop, we will again see Wills will take this gap down to 0.2, and I wonder if he'll do that same again. Go a little bit higher, get out of the slipstream, mainly to just not get too close, but also just have Dean Timms just worry and think, is he going to try and make this? I better stay on the inside, because that's what happened last time, and it did affect Timms when he went for the braking to turn 1. So let's see if they do that again this time. Let's see if Wills does pull to the outside. He is pulling to the outside, and then weaves back to the he's trying to keep it safe. So into turn 1 they'll go. It's still Timms, Wills, and 5 seconds behind them is Chris Wally.
Yeah, I think realistically it's good tactics that Wills is playing here again. Consistent lockup for Dean Timms. I mean, realistically, again, if Wills can get on the back of Dean Timms and pressure, I mean, that small little lockup at the moment could turn into a relatively big lockup, depending. A little bit further down the field, though, because we now have got this a bit of a battle between James Costa and Simon Chester, who is going to be, bear in mind, Simon Chester doesn't currently have a, probably that's Reynolds, doesn't have a front bumper. Sorry, doesn't have a bonnet. So that's one of the things. Actually, no, apologies. That's Chester that doesn't have a hood. The number 23. That's going to leave the door open possibly for Reynolds. That's going to come up. Is he going to make a lunge? Is he going to make a move going onto the inside? Has a bit of a look. Is it going to be something he's going to make? He's last of the late breakers, and he's just about managed to do it. A small bit of lock up on the inside. But look at that. Textbook move. Can't complain of that. Bish, bash, bosh. Off he goes. Good stuff indeed there from Stuart Reynolds.
Brilliant. Just textbook. And also Chester realizing the situation, getting out there, and there's been another car going around. Oh, it's Kjellberg. Kjellberg's not been Kjellberg's night. He's had some good pace, but these cars are not normal run-of-the-mill cars, and you do have to control it, and you have to tame this car. So been really quick tonight, Kjellberg, but unfortunately it's not worked in his favor overall for the night. For Chester, though, it is just having a few mistakes there, but what can you do? After losing that position, you get a little bit of dirty air, you've got a little bit of damage as well. not a lot you can do. He's just going to go, unfortunately, down the order. I mean, start this lap, Chester was leading the Reynolds, and now he's a second and a half behind Reynolds, and Reynolds is in the slipstream with James Costa, trying to battle for what I believe is P9. Jacob Money as well looks like he's had a moment. Not entirely sure what's happened to Jacob Money, but he has gone down the pecking order. But meanwhile, Dean Timms is just having a moment there. We're just going to see this replay. Are we going to see? No, we are going to go back to Dean Timms. It looked like there was going to be some close racing there as Dean Timms and Harry Wills are starting to battle and almost make it. And Dean Timms holds on to it with Wills. And now Wills is in the attack. 5 minutes. 5-minute call. We're going to have 14 laps for sure. So may just scratch another one in. It may be close, but it's definitely 14 laps right now. As you can see, that gap is 0.3 of a second. Wills is now starting to ask questions to Timms. And realistically, Dean Timms has had the answers at the moment.
Well, he has. He's been putting the car exactly where it needs to be. I think realistically, you can't argue with where he's been putting the car. It's perfect placement. You know, just about managing to it's always a fine line because you've got to make sure that you're defending hard enough, but not too hard that you can lose yourself time. Bear in mind, have a look at the gap to Chris Wally, because the gap was 5 seconds. It was 5.5 actually. It's now 3.6. So, I mean, I'm not going to say anything. I'm really not going to say anything. But just have a look at that gap. That's what I would say for anyone watching. Just continue looking at that gap. Really understand it, because the more these two battle between Dean Timms and Harry Wills, this could very well become a three-way fight very, very quickly. I know it said it's 4 minutes away. All that could all change. That could absolutely all change. I think Jacob Money's actually just got past Nick Crittenden. So what happened here? Oh, that was a bit of a send on the inside. Managed to get a cracking drive as Jacob Money out of going onto the banking. That was one of the best drives I've seen out of that corner, to be perfectly honest. That was fantastic stuff.
It was indeed. Back to these two, though, Dean Timms and Harry Wills. I love that move, but Harry Wills, again, just deciding, you know, I don't have the line, but I think he's got a bit too hot here. This is going to be a very sharp cutback, and he's been compromised with the line Timms has taken. So he can't do anything. Now, will he go? He's been trying to take this overtake here into the first horseshoe. No, he just can't make it at the moment. He's learned from previous mistakes. Nick Crittenden in the pits, by the way. We'll see what happened there. Oh, slide there from Harry Wills. But he holds on to it. And again, we're looking at this time right here because these two did 46 flats last lap. 46.15. Well, literally, they're matching. 46.016 to 46.015. But what about Chris Wally? 44.662, sorry. It's a second and a half. The gap's come down to 3.3 seconds. And really, it's just come down to these two just battling. If they keep battling side by side in those first sections, those tight sections, the overtaking sections of the track, then Wally's going to look to himself next lap and think, I might have a long shot here. I might be able to have a chance. So, got to keep it easy. Meanwhile, we're just looking around the back as we just get ready for the preparation for the final few laps. Stuart Reynolds at the moment just having a lovely battle.
That was a send.
As he continues. Yeah, lovely battle this, though, with Jesus Meavalpa and James Costa.
No, fantastic stuff. It's just perfect placement again. Stuart Reynolds setting it up the inside, but managing to keep it there. I mean, cracking stuff indeed. Here we go again. We're having to go back to the leaders because Harry Wills is trying to get round again. He's tried to make the move going into turn one. But Dean Timms is like, nope, you're going to go on the outside, naturally, as you would expect. Oh, they were close, and Harry Wills has actually got a bit of damage. Keep an eye out on that. Might be hurting him a little bit more. They're going to go down side by side. This is the best chance that Harry Wills has had this time. Tries to go for the cutback again. No, instead, parks around the outside. Ooh, Dean Timms just about going wide. He goes a little bit wide, though. That's going to open the door, possibly for Harry Wills. He's got to make sure he's nice and careful. You can see Chris Welly. He can see the gap now. It's down to 2.9 seconds. So, again, these guys battling so hard. And Chris is sitting there going, come on, guys, you crack on. And he's just going to take up and pick up any pieces that he can. That 2.8 seconds, that's a second and a bit of lap, bear in mind. That's near as makes no difference. I think realistically, I mean, they've got one more lap after this. They'll have one more lap. So Harry Wills has got to make the move, not on this lap, but the next one. He can't make the move on this one. If he does, he's going to get passed back by Team Timms again, I reckon. He has to wait until the last lap.
The question is, who does this last lap benefit? Does it benefit Dean? No, he wants it finished now. Does it benefit Harry? It should do. But it benefits Chris Wally more than any of these two at the front. And again, Wills has a run. Now, would he make a run into the bus stop? It'd be very risky to make a run. But you know what? He's going to put his car there. He thought about putting his car there, just lifted. And again, early braking. He's going to look for a run here. If he's broke early, it's slow in, fast out. Let's see the run he makes. It's a good run. It's a good run, but he's lost a lot of time. 0.4 of a second. If it goes to 0.3 quickly, then we know we're going to have a battle here. There you go. 0.3 of a second. Here we go. They're going to come down. And this is the penultimate time they'll come down. Turn 4 of NASCAR. Well, NASCAR 4, sorry. Not turn 4 of the track. It's turn 12 of the track. Here we go. Dean Tims has put himself on the outside. Wills is going to go to the inside. Lots of room. Lots of room. Lots of space. And now Dean's asking the question on the final lap.
He's letting the move happen.
What do you have?
He let the move happen.
He is letting him through.
Looking at that, he's going to wait till the last. He's going to wait. He's just going to absolutely wait and do the carbon copy of what Harry Wills has just done. I think, to be fair, if Dean Tims has played this right, this is a fantastic strategy move from Dean Tims. As long as he can stay with Harry Wills, this is going to be the key thing, because he's let Harry Wills pass. Bear in mind, he's now got 2 main straights on the banking to get that gap down from half a second down to 0.2 into the bus stop, and then from 0.2 to ultimately a race win, going from the bus stop to the start-finish line. This is, if he can nail it, Dean Tims, wow, that is absolutely amazing strategy there. If he can do it though, it's 0.6 of a second now. It's getting closer. So Harry Wills has been released, and he's been released up to 0.8 of a second already. I tell you what, it's going to have to be a cracking bus stop from Dean Tims, because he's going to have to pull half a second. But Harry Wills has got damage though. That's going to help. Well, it's not going to help Harry obviously, but it's going to help Dean Tims. Oh, I'm excited.
Dean Tims got a little bit of damage. Yeah, Dean Tims got a little bit of damage as well. I'm excited. This could be brilliant. The gap has gone down to 0.3. This is perfect. And Dean Tims does not bother with early braking. He's right on the back of Wills. He's not going to wait for a move here. Gap is 0.3. Stand up for the finish as they enter NASCAR 3. You're going to see a move here. Dean Tims will hold on to this. He's not going to go early. He's going to wait. He's going to wait for the moment he catches on now. The gap is 0.1. There's a lap car there, but it's blinking. Is he going to make a move? The move there from Wills. Into the block there from Wills. He makes it. T's going to go to the inside. They touch. They touch. They touch again. They wreck each other out. And Wills gets the win sideways. I've never seen such a finish. Wills gets it because Dean hits him. What? What a finish! That is a NASCAR finish if I've ever seen one. Oh, they'll be laughing about that as the fireworks come on. What a finish! Wally will take P2, Neubauer takes P3, and then Money will take home a very good... Well, Neubauer will take P4, sorry. Money takes a very good P5, and Costa comes home in 6. I'm a bit lost for words with that finish.
So, am I to be perfectly honest? I think, I mean, realistically, you can't really argue with that. I mean, a little bit naughty with the contact, I think. I know it's only a community race, but at the same time, just a teeny tiny bit naughty with that little sort of additional contact. You sort of, it's about 2 or 3 taps between both drivers, but ultimately up to the point. I mean, fantastic racing. Really, really good. Dean Tims, he absolutely tried it. Oh my God, I feel so sorry for him. Because, I mean, to be fair, realistically, it was strategy-wise just fantastic. Really, really good stuff. We saw, and apologies everyone, I know we didn't have too much up and down the field as we did in race 1, but I mean the battle was just there. There was just so much tension in that final few laps as well. I know obviously there was an incident, but look at Chris Wally. 1.3 seconds he was in the end. Another lap, admittedly, if the contact wasn't there, another lap, oh, that would have been a 3-way battle for the race win.
And I would have put my money on Chris Wally.
I would have done, yeah.
Chris Wally.
I'd have done as well.
You can bet that Dean and Harry, they know each other very well. They help run the league, and you know they're just having a bit of a laugh right now. I think Harry Wills is nowhere to be found on the voice chat with the community, so I reckon he just run away, just playfully run away after that. But hey, it's all fun and games at the end of the day. You've got to play it off as well. A brilliant block there from Harry. It was just perfectly timed at the end there. So it was really good. It's just a shame what happened, but if I have that for the rest of the Race Anywhere World Series, I'm loving it. I'm loving it.
I want this to be a series. I want this to be a full event. This needs to be a championship. I just love V8 Supercar. I know there's a few European V8 Supercar leagues. There is a few, but there's room for one more. There is room for one more. It'd just be fantastic, absolutely fantastic. But I mean, as a community race, as a community little fun race, I mean, I don't think you could ask for more, really. I just thoroughly enjoyed it. That was so much fun. Thank you again, Craig, for being a part of the commentary as well. It was something that I think is going to be, if we can do a few more of those, I don't think that's going to be a bad thing.
No, I think it was fantastic. And like I said, if this is the type of racing we saw, okay, granted it's Daytona, a lot of pack racing, but the moves, just the respect they were giving each other. Yes, we had that finish, but the moves and the respect, you're going to see this in the World Series. You're going to see it in the Americas Series. It's going to be fantastic. We will be bringing the racing. And like I said, press day will be coming up soon. And we cannot wait for that. And like I said, you know, I've kind of got the V8 bug, and I think there is a Bathurst 1000 coming up soon. I might have to, I might have to get myself involved with that. But I think really after that fun, I think it is time that we pass goodbye for the evening. And thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for watching this fun. And if you did like what you see, just feel free to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button as well. And don't forget to get involved with more information from Absolute Sim Racing. We will be seeing you at a later date for sure. But from then, it's really not really sure the best way to wrap up this, apart from it's a goodbye from me, and I think it's going to be. Is it goodbye from you, Daniel?
Oh, of course it is. Of course it is. No, thank you everyone for watching and being a part of it. Fantastic stuff.
Yeah, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, and we will see you around next time. And good evening and stay safe.